Life Around 40 podcast, your number one source for old men yelling at clouds. I'd like to introduce, as you probably already know, because it's the 7th episode, your local old men. We have Drew, Taylor, and myself. As we found out in our flub at the beginning of this recording that we then had to edit out, I am not the youngest, Graham. Apparently Taylor is. Good to know.
So, we're old, not very good with technology.
Yeah, that is true. Yes. So you're not much younger than me, Taylor.
It's still younger.
Well, I know. I get it. It's annoying. Unless you're like our friend's wife, who is 6 months older than us, and I constantly bring that up to her all the time. So every year on her birthday, I'm like, you're so much older. It's great. And I send her a picture of an old woman. It's great. So
good for you.
I try, you know. So you guys get anything fun this weekend?
I had sick
Past
kids.
Week?
Does that count as fun, having sick kids?
Absolutely not.
That is four people trying to fit into one bed. So I just relegate myself to the couch.
Yeah, that's firmly in the not fun column, I would have to say. So Taylor, anything good?
You were looking pretty haggard there with some of those pictures you were sharing there.
Well, more haggard than normal, I should say.
Yeah,
hey, no,
absolutely.
Trying to be nice.
Why?
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 I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it.
So I, for whatever reason, had to burr up my butt, and I drove out to Butler, PA, which is about 200 miles from where I live, and I got dinner with one of my buddies. I texted him Friday, and I was like, "Hey, what you doing?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Oh, what you doing?" And initially, it was gonna be lunch on Sunday, and he was like, "Nothing." I was like, "Hey, you want to get food?" And he's like, "Are you coming out here?" I was like, "Sure, what the hell?" So,
yeah, I remember when you texted and said you went, you were like, because I could.
Because I could.
Like,
and yeah.
It must be nice.
Yeah. And so I went out there, and the first thing he said was like about that was, "You texted that," and the first thought I had was, he's literally going to come out here. And I was like, that's a really good feeling to have. Like when you say something like that and you have somebody be like, "Oh yeah, he's totally going to do it, the maniac." Yeah. What a wild man. So
yeah, I'd be like, you want to grab lunch? Never mind. Here in Butler, we're not doing that. So
I can eat here.
Yeah, we can do this while we eat, but that's going to be the extent of it. So
eat food and be on Discord together.
That sounds like a wonderful evening, doesn't it?
It's cozy, comfy. But yeah, I went out there, went to a place called the Chop Shop. It's kind of like American diner style, but the food bit different. Had a poutine burger.
Ooh,
and that's interesting.
It was pretty tasty.
A dipped gravy burger. Huh?
Was there fries on it?
Yes, there were fries on it. Yeah.
Cheese curds.
I honestly don't remember, because I don't remember lifting up the thing for it. I just hounded the thing down. It was pretty tasty.
You couldn't tell they're cheese curds because you ate it so fast?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't taste any, so
I was just checking.
Yeah, I did not taste any, and I really didn't see any, which it is Pennsylvania, so it's not quite the authentic poutine experience. But
yeah, I was about to say, I'm not Canadian, but I feel like poutine normally has cheese curds on
so
but maybe I'm
I
wrong.
still thought it was tasty. So but
very nice.
I love it.
And stayed in Cranberry. I'm just kind of, I did a little bit of writing. It was nice to kind of get out of my own head and just kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna get some writing done. Cranberry's a comfy little town, about an hour, 45 minutes or so north of Pittsburgh. So
okay. Is there anything else to do in Butler other than eat at the Chop Shop?
There might have been. It's a really pretty town. I actually really liked. I came in on a 68. I didn't take like the freeway to get there. I took back roads from Steubenville, and it was really scenic. It was really nice. And then coming in, it's like, oh, this is a really pretty looking town. So, but it's not. If there was a whole bunch of stuff, it wasn't on the docket. I was just kind of there to grab. Ended up being dinner on Saturday, and then just kind of chit-chatting with him for a bit. And
it's always nice.
Yeah.
It's always nice.
How about yourself, Graham?
I also hit a nice, quaint little safe town. I took my wife up to a Goo Goo Dolls concert in Detroit, Michigan on Saturday. It was so comfy and so safe, and I-75 North wasn't shut down, causing like a 2-hour backup. It was incredible. If I couldn't have hated the state of Michigan any more than I already did, and if you know me, I don't despise the state. I despise that football team. Okay.
Stayed up north.
So I try to give Michigan the benefit of the doubt because I've heard it's an amazing state. You got the coastlines with Lake Erie and Lake Michigan, and it's so great. I've been fishing on Lake Michigan. It's fun. But man, I do not want to go back to Detroit. I did not enjoy it. The concert was great. Detroit itself kind of sucked. But so we did that. That was enjoyable. Got away for a night, stayed up there, came back on Sunday. So it was nice to take a night away with the wife, have the kids stay with my aunt. So those come very few and far between, and you got to take advantage of those and really make sure you're enjoying them. So that was a good time. I'm not a fan of the Goo Goo Dolls. So my wife teases me because in between the first band, Dashboard Confessional, and the Goo Goo Dolls, they were just piping in music, and a Gorillaz song came on, and I told Brandon, this is the best song I've heard all night. Easy. I love the Gorillaz. The Gorillaz are great.
That's not even a band.
That's not even a band. It's fun. It's still great music.
Agree to disagree.
Well, that's fine.
I want you to feel good. I want you to feel good all you want, but that's not even music.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
I've been wrong once before too, Drew. It's okay. You'll work through it.
How does it feel to actually be old, Drew?
Yeah, seriously.
I tell you, it's
elderly
it's great.
stick in the mud.
You know, I know how my day is gonna go by how much I moan getting out of bed in the morning, right? It's like, oh, it's a bad one. It's gonna be a bad one, right? So
I do love how we are kind of literally yelling at clouds right now. So I was very accurate at the beginning of the episode. So
he had foresight.
Well, awesome. Anything else? Anybody do anything fun, or we want to roll right into our topic here?
I mean, I did nothing fun, so I'm ready to roll into the topic so people don't know how depressing my life is.
I think they know, Drew. I don't think there's anything to add. So, all right, Drew, you have topic of the week.
Sure. And my topic is the evolution of friendship in your 40s. And this could be at any age, but, for us in particular, used to go to high school with your friends and you'd hang out every day to get done with school. You'd hang out even more. You'd cheat off each other to get your homework done. And then early 20s, you're having beers in the bar or wherever because you had no responsibilities. You were still probably working off your, parents' money because, you were in college studying. Most people know they're full of shit. You go to college to drink. We all know it. Your 30s come, you hang out a little less and less. Your 40s come, you have a wife, you have kids. Taylor, you're going to have a unique twist on this.
Yes.
Driving 200 miles to see a friend in Butler and not getting sex, not happening.
I'm not driving 200 miles for anything but that, okay?
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. But, regardless, friendship has absolutely changed for me. And, you could do things with your friends like start a podcast, something to stay in touch. But, so, Graham, why don't you tell me, what, besides a podcast, what are some things you do?
You're right. It is very hard. All of our mutual friend, Jared. So a little background for people that don't know. Well, I think we brought it up, and I think the first episode, we've known each other since high school. And we went to high school with Jared. We've known Jared that long. And I have one other friend from high school that I keep in contact with occasionally, Dan, our mutual friend. And whereas I used to hang out with you guys when you're up here, when you're up here, Drew, all the time. I used to go out and do stuff with him all the time. Well, he's married with kids. And it's just kind of managing the responsibilities of, hey, you're not going to be able to hang out as much, so try to find the ways that you can. A lot of phone conversations or texts now, to be honest. Like I see Drew maybe once a year, usually about once a year. I saw Taylor this week because we met for lunch, but I think it had been a couple months since I'd seen you in person since before that. So most of it's digital now. And one thing that's I noticed is really kind of evolved in my life, and I know we've discussed this before, is as you're losing time for your friends and you have these other responsibilities and family or whatever it might be, you really start to pare out the amount of effort you put in to people that aren't your super close friends. So I don't have a lot of friends, but I have several very good close quality friends, and I've kind of learned I don't really need any more friends. I can have acquaintances and I can have people that I'm friendly with or that I will call a quote unquote friend, but like we've said before, Drew, there's probably like four people I could call at any time and ask for something, and they
Yep.
would drop what they're doing and show up. Those are the friends that I, with the limited time I have to talk to my friends, those are the ones I want to invest my time in and my effort and in my energy into. If I'll hang out with the other people and have a good time, but I'm not going to start a podcast with them. I'm not going to make sure we're checking up with each other, following each other's family, that kind of thing. So that's been a big evolution. And it really stood out to me this past school year. My daughters, they're younger. They're always trying to get all the friends. They want everybody to be their friend.
Mm.
And when you get into that fifth grade area, especially going before in middle school, and I'm sure it's going to get worse in middle school, there's all kinds of tension between friends. Everybody's kind of at each other, it's that age. And trying to impress upon her, like, look, you don't have to be everybody's friend. It's okay. Find your friend and stick with them, or your friend group. You don't have to be friends with everybody in school. You should be friendly with everybody at school. You should treat everybody the same, but don't be upset if somebody doesn't want to hang out with you. Because unfortunately in life, there's going to be people that don't like you and you might not know why. There might not be a good reason why. And that's just how people are. And it's not worth trying to win those people over. It just, you go on your way, let them go their way, and you just invest your time and emotions in the people that you care about and are your real friends. So I feel like that was a big evolution there. And also having to, I feel like when you're friends and you're younger, it's effortless. Hey, let's go grab a beer. You almost don't
Yeah.
even have to ask. You're going to hang out with each other on the weekend or after work. Now I'm not going to say it's a lot of effort, but it is effort now to make sure you're carving time out with your friends. Um, and you have to actually put work in to accomplish that and schedule it. Unfortunately, now, like everything I do with my friends or anything in my
Yeah.
life, it has to be on a calendar. It's got to be on a calendar.
Well,
So, I'd say probably that's the biggest changes I've noticed. Taylor?
Okay, so yeah, I guess I'm the odd man out on this. I'm not married and don't have kids, so I certainly have a whole lot more free time. There's the and I also have the I guess the odd experience of being shuffled around a lot, whether by choice or mostly by choice. But when I was younger, I moved around a lot, so I didn't really get to connect with people for a very long time, really until high school. Right, so I only had a brief bit there in at Heritage at Westerville for, but I was only there for like about what, a year and a half, maybe close to two, not fully 2 years living there. So it was kind of a brief stint, and then being up there with you guys at Highland. So I developed very bad, I would say, habits in not really like probably being like um over wanting to try to like add like big extra to try to connect with people, especially with social media and internet and smartphones and texting being easier to an extent. And then when you move, it becomes a lot harder to do that.
Yeah.
Like when I was at Bowling Green, I know there was an instance where I tried to basically I tried to like take two different friend groups and try to mash them together. Um, I don't know if Graham really remembers that, but there was a whole bunch of like you, Jared, and a few
Yeah.
other people that came up to BG, and I had like all my BG friends, and it was like this weird like, oh,
Dynamic.
it's a like not like I'm like some weird psycho be like, hey, you two kiss kind of thing, but more of
Oh
just
yeah.
like it's just
Mm.
kind of like, oh, this is like,
Science experiment. I love it.
Yeah.
well, it's just kind of like it was not something I at the time thought about. Oh yeah, this is a little weird trying to like shoehorn this in a way. Um, but when you don't really grow up having friends, you just kind of like, oh, what's the matter? They're like these people are friends with me. They should all get along, which is
I just
obviously the case.
imagine
But
I just imagine you in college, and I'm
you say,
thinking I see Heath Ledger as the Joker, and you're like, we're gonna have tryouts. You need to
Yeah.
snap a poll cube, and you're waiting to see which one's gonna stay your friend.
that's really not how that worked, but nice try. And I wasn't really like a drinker either. Like that's not. I did not really do that in college until I got really depressed. But after broke up with Aya there, right before the end of oh that last year that I was there at Bowling Green. But yeah, and then like all that separation, and then being in Japan and having those friends there. Like I don't like outside of one person, I really don't keep in contact with any of them. And then coming back, I purposely isolated myself because I was afraid I was gonna have like terrible reverse culture shock like I did the first time being there for a bit of time. Well, yeah, no, like the only person who was like, hey, it was my professor who's seeing me do this dissertation and turning crazy and going, come here, we need to like put you in a box for for like about 10 days, yeah,
Yeah.
and stuff. So like I've had to really um not only like relearn to like come out of my shell, but also not take it hard. For a long time I would always take it very personally when people did not connect with me, even though I wasn't connecting with them, but that
Yeah.
was because I was just being an idiot. um so like I've been, as I've gotten older, as I'm pushing into this, I've tried to be more, I don't even say accessible, but more forward and wanting to try to
Yeah.
do
Mm.
something. And since I do have the free time afforded to me, to try to get that, as well as if unable to, then not to take that personally and just be like, okay, we'll just reschedule it. Like, especially because I can just be like, okay, let's do this. Okay, well, no, I kind of need to, like, for example, what, a month and some change out, I'm putting together like an in-person one shot
Yeah.
thing, and I've you know threw it out to Graham, and he's like, well, maybe. Don't know, like at least now because we had to change the date for it and stuff, but um that, and I also tend to have a very wide range of people that I'll like. I'm a lot more willing to spend time to try to like get to know somebody, especially if I like connect with them, or as the kids say, as if we're vibing, if we're kind of on the similar wavelength,
Yeah.
um,
The
which,
you'd say, yeah.
yeah, the
What
youth,
what the youth say.
what the youth say, um, which, yeah, in one hand is kind of endearing, but in another hand it probably, um, I don't want to say it makes me like a bit of a fish out of water. Like I don't even think about it. I'm just kind of like, eh. So,
Hmm.
So when you came back from Japan the final time,
mm-hmm.
how long was it before we started talking again? I'm trying to remember
um,
that timeline.
it was a long time.
It was like more than 7 years, would you say?
Close, if not, yeah, it'd probably be a little bit more.
So,
Um,
but I mean, that's beside the point to a sense. What it didn't surprise me, but it was like very pleasant was it had been more than 7 years that you had been gone, and we really hadn't even talked because we didn't talk when you were in Japan.
mhm.
So probably the last time would have been when you were
It
at
was right
BG.
before. It was right before. No, it was right before I left. We had
Okay,
lunch,
yes, that's right.
and then you were
Yes,
making fun of me because I had a salad.
yeah. Well, as you do, which
Uh,
I had a salad for lunch today too.
yeah,
Welcome to
yeah,
my
yeah,
almost
yeah,
40.
yeah. Funny how that
Hey,
turns
this
around.
He
This
has a heart
place,
condition.
I
So
I don't
do.
care.
This place has the best Caesar salad I've ever had. Okay, I'm going
is
to
there
have the salad.
chicken on there? Bless out like some blackened
No,
chicken.
I don't. I don't love chicken Caesar salads. What they do is they sell pizza by the slice there, so I get a half a Caesar and a slice of pizza,
Oh,
and
it's
it's pretty
fantastic.
killer.
It's a good meal.
But it was really nice how when we did reconnect, it was like 3 days and it felt like we were right back in high school, being friends. And it's just how easy it was to slip right back into that groove of there wasn't this long awkward period. It was like, all right, yeah, we're back to talking now and hanging out or whatever. So that I really enjoyed that part of it. So
Mm.
and I would imagine Drew could probably say the same thing. Which to be fair, Drew has that kind of personality. Even if you haven't seen him in like several years, he's the same old Drew, and he's going to treat you like he saw you yesterday.
Sure.
So, and I think that's a huge positive quality you have, that you're able to just like
Aw,
step right
thanks.
up and, hey, you spoke highly of me last episode. I should probably return the favor a little. No, I think that's a great quality you have. If it's like,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how long it's been, you'll
so
just slip right back in.
and like Taylor, did I reach out to you first on Facebook? Because I was seeing you post stuff about your second book. And
Yeah,
I remember I read, this is my second book, and I'm like, son of a bitch, I have an accomplished friend.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Graham's
So
not
I think I reached
Oh
out to
no.
you.
He builds others up and tears himself down.
I think I reached out
Yeah,
to
you
you.
you
and
probably did, especially if at that point it would probably
Yeah.
been. Like
I
I
just-
said, I was in a pretty bad spot for a long time. Not necessarily. I mean, I still am, and Graham and I've actually really been recently talking about it. Like I'm unfortunately have been far too comfortable to just sort of create that separation, and that's not fair to anybody, other people, nor myself. And
Sure.
yeah, for whatever reason, I mean, there's a lot. I ain't about to bore people with the details, but I would do that, and I just kind of really, really closed myself off, especially after I got back. Not necessarily regretting it per se, but it was just kind of like, I don't know if I want to be here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, who does? Greatest country in the world. Jeez. Now I will say, like on my end, right? So
Mhm.
again, started a podcast. Like Graham said, it's a lot of phone communication. You want to go in your room? Son's bothering me. All right, love you, pal. You see, you couldn't see him because of my wall. It's
That's
amazing.
very nice. It's a very nice wall.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I have some good friends here, and we hang out once a month. I'll stop by after work for my buddy makes a hell of an old fashioned. Um, I should stop by Friday. Except I got to pick up kids, 9 months out of the year. So makes it hard to go stop and do that on your way. You can't pick up your kids at a Christian school with alcohol on your breath. It's
As long as they don't smell it. As long as they don't smell it.
But of all the things that I kind of do, the occasional movie, we'll go bowling every once in a while. But the one thing I gotta say, the best thing about having older friends, there's so much less drama.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
not true, I feel like on some of the female side.
I
But
can't speak to that. So
in my court,
blink twice,
pretty-
Graham. Blink twice.
I'm pretty dramaless, where my wife's had some of the dumbest stuff. Like,
yeah.
just those friends that they have to have the last word, they have to be right. And it's just like, just write them off. Like, it's so easy. You just hit block, never have to see him again.
Well, it's like that old joke. I love it. Is like when the joke is when women hang out together. They're, oh, I love you so much and blah, 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 whatever. And then when they all separate, it's, oh man, she's such a bitch and whatever. And when guys hang out, they're like, oh, you're such a dumbass. I hate you, you piece of crap. And then they leave and they're like, that guy's great. That guy's like one of the best guys I know. It's so true too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
I mean, if I'm not picking on you, if I'm not making fun of
Yep.
you, I probably don't like you.
yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
you should be afraid at that point.
Yep. That's
Um,
how it works at work most of the time too. Is like,
Yeah.
if you're not giving each other shots, if I'm not giving you a hard time about something, I don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
You know, so if you start taking it the way it's not meant, then I don't want to work with you either. But like, if you're willing to give it right back, that's who I want to work with. Is
Yeah.
I want to have a good time getting after each other at work. So
I mean, I recently made an AI video of a friend of mine kissing what I just found out was a
Oh,
deceased 80-year-old lady.
dude, that video
that
frightens
was
me.
that was yeah. That
How
was probably the
good
scariest
that
thing I've
looked,
seen
it was
this year.
very frightening.
I
how
am
well it
so
looked.
happy his girlfriend has a good sense of humor because she found
Real
it
good.
funny, and I found out that the lady's been dead for 2 years. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. You're a real piece of shit, Drew.
Oof. Yeah, there was a time when I was working in Japan where I needed to like rein my mouth in. Like, I don't know. There's just times where I will just rifle off things that I don't know. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I cross the borders sometimes, and maybe it's just those people or maybe I'm not as close as friends with them as what I thought, but just like,
Yeah, that's when you find out how close of a friend they really are. Is like, wow, he just said that to me, and I'm not going to get upset about it. You know, that's kind of where it is. So,
well, yeah. So it kind of it sort of tapered off for a while, but I think as I've gotten back into being more like communicative with people and just talking and stuff, it's slowly creeping back in for better and for worse.
yeah.
I was gifted a little piece off of an IQ, those IQ bars or whatever, the little snack bars or whatever. I was gifted a little part of the box that just said for smart mouths.
yeah.
I
see
was like,
that.
yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's I sometimes you just can't shut up.
Well, and I know when I was on your podcast, we kind of got into this. This was months ago. We kind of got into this topic a little bit in the sense of community, and because you talked about reconnecting and making it kind of a priority to reconnect and be more accessible, and I know we talked. Well, kind of what we talked about was how the younger generation seems so disconnected when it comes to in person, and so of it, which is funny because we say most of our connection is over technology, but we've also had years and years of in person,
Yeah.
relationship. How important that is to reconnect and have that community, though, that base of small, loyal, trustworthy friends that you can rely on, and how much that contributes to your life and your well-being. That some of the most fun I've ever had and best times I've ever had in my life is with my community and doing fun stuff with my friends and my wife, who I consider my best friend. And so I feel like if younger kids aren't reaching out and trying to get that kind of in-person community and finding their place in the world, they're doing a big disservice to themselves. And we hear a lot about anxiety nowadays. I'll tell you, kids, we had anxiety when we were kids too. You know what I mean? It's one of those, being outgoing and friendly and easy to talk to. Drew can attest. I was an extremely quiet
Oh
person
man,
when I was younger.
you were so much fun.
I was
I
so backwards. So
It
and
was.
it doesn't. And what I want to say to people that have anxiety and stuff is like, I understand you have that, but some people aren't born with the gift of gab, if you will, and it takes work and it takes effort and it takes practice. And Drew brought me out of my shell a lot. And then I got a job where I was interfacing with customers and clients every single day. And you had to learn it. If you wanted to succeed, you had to do it. So we don't need to tell any stories. I know you've got
Oh
like
God,
5
we
of
do.
them
There's
already in the
so
barrel,
many.
so
There's so many.
we don't need to get into them. I remember
I
last
mean,
episode the
oh,
story you tell. All right, you
I'm
told.
gonna,
All
I'm
right.
gonna, I'm gonna give you the best story
Oh
though. So,
God, I.
Oh
Graham,
yeah.
Graham used to be so quiet and shy, right? And I'll skip all those right now because that's gold for later, right?
Oh
But
God, where's this
the
going?
the no, the moment I realized Graham had now blossomed, he was now his own flower. We were on a roof working on a chiller, and he left a door open and it
Oh
rained.
yeah.
Nothing bad happened to chiller, but this general contractor starts getting in his ass, and Graham just cut loose. I forget what he said. I'm dying. It's hilarious. Like you can't show it outwardly, but inside, this
Yeah.
is the greatest thing. I just want Graham to punch him, and
It was about to happen until you
it
reached
did.
around
Yeah,
and pulled me back.
I
So
stepped in. I calmed the storm. Like we'll never do it again. We're sorry. He's sorry. Bye bye now.
yeah,
And
and the dude would have beat my ass too if I had punched him. I would
no,
not have won.
I wouldn't have
Well,
let him beat your ass.
that's the thing. I had backup, but if I had been alone, but that's probably one of 2 or 3 times of my life where they say you see quote unquote red. I was like, I don't care if I get my ass beat. I was like, this dude is chewing me out over something I had no control of, and he's jamming his finger in my chest. We're on a professional work site. I'm like, no, this is not going to
Goodness.
happen today.
It was golden.
I was
Oof.
having a bad day already. I was primed to snap. So
It was great. It was a fantastic day for me.
yeah, Drew enjoyed it immensely. So
I did.
me, not so much. I wasn't enjoying it as much. But yeah, go
But
ahead,
to
Drew.
finish up this subject, that says it's mine. Um, you know, to have that friend you know personally, not just on the digital realm, right? I met this guy
Yeah.
on Twitch and I donated $5,000 and now we're friends, right? That's not real.
No.
Having some friends that know the you know the shitty side of you, who can steer
Yeah.
you back in the right
Oh,
direction.
for sure. Yeah.
Find those friends and keep those friends, because every once in a while someone's got to tell you, dude, you're just being a dumbass,
Mhm.
and you need to get it straightened up. You need that in your life.
Well, and those are the same friends that not only will call you out for your BS, when you're deep in it, they're going to be the ones that come and get you out of it.
Mm.
So, they're the ones going to take the initiative, be like, he's in a bad spot, whatever it might be. We got to go in and get him out now.
Yep.
It's like, that's what we're here for, is to pull him out of this. And when somebody does that for you, and you realize that's the kind of friend there are, you're willing to step right back up and do it for them. So,
Yep.
and I think it's vital, extremely vital. So,
Yeah, I think that's a really good call, because I think a lot of times what gets conflated is to be supportive means to just kind of be like,
agree to everything. Yeah. Yes.
agree
Ma'am.
to agree to whatever it is that somebody's doing, or the soft agreement of, oh, do what you love kind of
Yeah.
thing, and just whatever makes you happy. Not to say that those are like bad people or something like that.
No.
They're just not really giving you good feedback. It's kind of like just a broad brushstroke. You want the friends who will listen and then be like, Graham and I had a pretty serious conversation about stuff yesterday, and he was quick to be like, "Hey, dickhead!" Like,
Well, I didn't say that.
you did not
okay?
say that, but
I'm very
I mean,
gentle when it comes to stuff like that. Okay.
Hey, dickhead.
Yes, I did it in much quieter voice.
Whispered it in my good ear.
Get right in there.
Right. But yeah, because I feel like even if they don't end up taking the advice or whatnot, you would hope that they would listen to it to be like, oh no, this
Yeah.
person is, they're listening and they're not just going with whatever you want.
Yeah,
or
they have your
because they think,
interests
oh
in
well,
mind.
yeah. So, and I think that is really, really hard to find.
Yep.
Because I think a lot of times you either have the soft agreements or the hard agreements of like, yeah, whatever, support, or you have the ones who are like, well, I'm just going to tell it as it is, but if they're not listening, they're just telling, well, you just do this instead, kind of thing. So you got to walk that fine line to try to figure that out and stuff. So
Absolutely. All right.
Beautiful.
We feel like we covered this. Anybody else another thought or anything? All right, it's time
Nope.
for Throwback Corner. Taylor, this is yours this week.
Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, we're going to throw it back to something a little different. Childhood adventures and what sort of adventures we had as a child. So I picked this as a topic simply because I did oh yeah, I'm just going to drive out to Butler and grab food with
Adventure.
a friend.
That's what we're calling adventure now.
I mean, it's a
I'm
jaunt.
just screwing
Sure,
with
we'll
you.
just
Yeah, I'll give you a
very
jaunt.
a lengthy jaunt.
I'll give you that.
But well, especially pairing that for. So as a kid, I like to go out and play in the wilderness, and my grandparents on my dad's side used to live right outside of Sunbury. I like on 336, 37, right outside the Sunbury entrance
Mhm.
corporation and stuff. There used to be buildings there and stuff. They're torn down. They passed away. 16 about 15 16 years ago. So but they used to have a like a farm, but in the back it was wooded, and I remember I would go back in there or go off to the side where there was this creek and just do a bunch of exploring and adventuring that way. And there was a spot, a little grove. Actually, it's the second book, Sage's Calling. There's a memory sequence with them as kids going into this little grove where there's the I can't remember what type of tree they are, but they're the trees that have the really long needles
Okay.
that are all throughout the
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
yeah. My dad jokingly calls them Judith trees because my mother's name is Judith, but
Very thorny.
yeah. So those there was just a line of them, and they're covered in spider webs and stuff, and it's just a very like cool. Oh, this is a little adventure for myself. I'm out there by myself and seeing that. I used to sneak into the abandoned Nestle factory place
Okay.
there.
I didn't realize there was one there.
It's no longer in Sunbury, so
Okay.
it used to be right there down the street from the square, before you got to Big Walnut Elementary School and Middle School
Okay.
and
Yep.
stuff on that street. I was just passed through there yesterday, but I think it's like a medical thing now that's over there. But doing that or just exploring, running all through Sunbury and stuff. Or when I was in Columbus, there by Minerva Park, they used to have a clearing where people would do dirt bike riding and stuff, and I would go there all the time and just run around and just
Weaving through the dirt bikes.
well, yeah, well, honestly they weren't there fairly frequently. Whenever I did go out that way, because it would take about 20-30 minutes to walk over there by taking the train tracks and crossing over the old like dilapidated, well, it's dilapidated, but old bridge and stuff. Yeah, that's just to rattle off a few of them. I could totally do some more, but those are just some as a child there. So let's we're going Graham or Drew.
We'll go Drew.
Drew.
We'll go Drew.
Yep.
All right. Well, two of mine are going to be similar, but from opposite ends. So I too used to ride dirt bikes. Me and my buddy Dan. His dad always let me ride a Kawasaki 175, and we'd go up and down the train tracks in Marengo there, and there were some good hills up where there were bridges, and we did that for years and years, and it was a blast. And then I'll give. I don't even know if I've ever told Graham this story. My wife knows this story. So we used to vacation almost every summer in Old Forge, New York, and I liked adventuring in the wilderness. I would go up this creek as far as I could and just go different windings and just I'm a good bit up this creek, and I'm like, oh no, I have diarrhea, and it's I got to get my ass back to that cabin because you're a kid. I'm not thinking about shitting in the woods. This isn't a thing, right? So I'm like, I got to hurry back. This is going to be explosive. And so, man, I look like I'm escaping bears. How fast I'm coming back down this creek, right? It's like, every once in a while. And I'm getting close, man. I'm just, I feel like, Indiana Jones. I'm escaping that boulder. There's bears after me. And I see the cabin. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And I go to step on a rock and it's slippery. And my foot goes out and there's a pointy rock in front of me. And I come down on it with my shin and I blow my shin open. And as I blow my shin open, I shit myself right
I
there
was
in the
about to
creek.
say, you knew that was coming.
And so,
Right.
they're like, oh God, no, holding your shin, holding, like, oh God. So you get over your pain because you have to. You got to get out of this creek full of now blood and shit. And you make your way up to the cabin and you're like, well, with the clean part of my drawers that I'm not going to keep, got some of the blood off my leg and I just chucked those bastards in the woods because I didn't want anybody to know, right?
Well, of course
And
not. Yeah.
yeah. So I imagine one day there's somebody hiking the woods and they find these blood shit soaked underwear. They're like, this poor child. He must have been
Cops
eaten
are
by
out
a
there.
bear.
The cops are out there. Yeah. We got to call the
And
cops.
So, and that did not stop me from adventuring up the creek, but I definitely
Went-
made sure I didn't
Went to
have
the
anything.
bathroom.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
that's-
how you get smarter. You learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, by shitting yourself. Yeah, absolutely. No, I will agree. That is the worst feeling on earth. Is that feeling of like now, like there is
Yeah.
zero time now. It's
The
like
cork's about to be
it's
let loose.
awful feeling. That's a terrible feeling.
And if anybody is younger and listens to this podcast, when you turn 40, you don't trust the fart. You be
Yep,
careful.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep. You don't trust any of them. So I don't fart outside of the bathroom now. So. So I had kind of an interesting childhood in the sense that I grew up on a farm out by Sparta. It was a very small town where our school was at. And 90% of the time, and then I would go live in the city every other weekend with my dad in Hilliard. So when I was out on the farm, and even before that, before I lived with my aunt and uncle and I should say my grandparents, but my aunt and uncle were next door. When I was still living with my mom and stepdad, we lived next to the woods there. And it's kind of interesting with my aunt and uncle's place, they still had woods, but they were very small and we like never went into them because they were just pretty much filled with poison ivy. But when I was living with my mom and stepdad, there was some very nice clear woods that were behind us. And I remember when I was younger, my stepdad would always take me and my brother, and I think my sister when she was a little older, to go mushroom hunting. Have you guys ever done that? Gone morale mushroom hunting?
No.
It's a lot of fun. So I have very fond memories. That was always like an adventure. I was probably 9 or 10. It was before middle school. You'd be out there for like 3 hours, just walking around, flipping logs. There's all these signs you had to look for.
Absolutely. Just
Flip
flip that
logs.
logs.
But it was kind of like a treasure hunt in the sense that the way the mushrooms grow, there are signs that you look for in areas they potentially could be. There's a higher chance areas. So it's always like a treasure hunt. You're out there finding where those spots are, walking around looking for them. So that was always a very fun adventure we did. And then when you'd find them, they're very good mushrooms. You cut them into strips and batter them and deep fry them, and they're very good. They go for like $100 or more than $100 a pound. They're because they're hard to find, but they're very good. Excuse me. And then when I was living with my grandparents on the pretty much their farm, my cousins lived just right up. So my aunt's house and my grandparents' house are connected by a hay field that my grandpa owned all the land there. And they had cut a trail. My uncle had cut a trail between the hay fields from my grandparents' house to his house. And they would drive gators and golf carts and stuff. So my cousins and I were always up there driving around on golf carts. We flipped it like twice, just, screwing around. But I always had a good time. That's where I learned to drive, was driving those around the property there. We'd take it down hills as fast as we could. And, the kind of stuff we used to do at Big Walnut Golf Course, Drew. Try to see how many times we could spin the cart down the hill.
Oh my God. God love the owners of that place.
Yeah, they put up with a lot.
They did.
A lot.
They sure
Yeah.
did.
And but we also there's a series of books. Taylor knows them very well. In fact, I started listening to one because we were going to talk about it, and I think it kind of fell off.
Did you still want to do that? Because we can still do that.
Maybe.
Okay,
It's pretty
fair
busy
enough.
right now. So
I understand. I understand.
but the Redwall series, it's a series of books that are it's anthropomorphic animals like mice and squirrels and stuff like that, and it's set in kind of like this semi-fantasy medieval England. Yes, Redwall, very good. Written by Brian Jakes, an English author. But it was full of like fighting and adventure, and my cousins and I all read them. They loved them as much as I did, and we would go outside running around with sticks pretending to play Redwall. Both my grandmother and my aunt had RVs, like the tow along RVs for camping. We used to play in those all the time when they were parked at the house. Just a lot of good times with my cousins, but like we never really went exploring in the woods very much because it was a big farm. We were always just running between the barns and in the fields. Well, when the fields didn't have hay, because otherwise you'd get in trouble for running through the hayfield. But no, it's just a lot of fun. And then like I live in the suburbs now, and we live in a very nice neighborhood. Our trick or treating is a blast here, and my kids really like the neighborhood because they go, they're surrounded by kids they go to school with, which is really nice, and we're close with some neighbors and stuff. But part of me kind of wishes like, and they get it when we go visit my aunt, they experience it a little bit. But it's like I miss living out there and having that space, and it just felt so
Just
open and
pissing right off the front porch.
well, and I I don't know if you guys agree or not. It just feels like time moves slower out there.
It
There's something
does. It
about it.
does.
There's something about it. It's more relaxing. You feel less stressed.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the adventures I remember having, and just running around outside on the farm.
I drove around a block with Dan on the hood of my car because he
Yeah.
locked me out of it. I mean, if we'd have been pulled over by a sheriff, he just would have laughed. Like, well,
Oh,
this
for sure.
dumbass locked me out.
Well,
You
that's
know?
like I've heard people make big deals about kids riding around in the back of a truck. It's like we did that all the time. You're
All
not
the
gonna
That's the way of
don't be
life.
stupid. Yeah, don't be stupid and jump
Yeah.
out. Just sit in it. And then so I had that experience, and then I would go stay with my dad in Hilliard, which was city, not like city. It was still kind of suburby. And I just remember riding my bike around with the neighborhood kids on the roundabout, not the roundabout, the cul-de-sac, playing. That was where I did most of my bike riding because out on the farm you weren't really riding on the road. But that's where I learned to like put the cards in the spokes of my tires of the wheels, so it makes that when you're riding, that kind of thing. And when I would go stay with my grandmother who lived in town, I always went with my older cousin, and she lived on the south end of Columbus. And it was around the time it started to get kind of bad down there. But him and I would we'd go out and walk down to Schiller Park, which is probably a mile or two away from her house, and go play at Schiller Park all the time as well. I don't know if you guys know where Schiller is or not,
No.
but like nowadays, I wouldn't let my kids walk around down there. But when we were younger, we'd walk down, then hit the little convenience store on the corner and grab an ice cream on our way back or whatever. It's just, outside playing roller hockey with him in the driveway. It was always a
Good
good
times.
time. So, but
Yeah.
Nice.
some good
The
memories.
you bringing up the diarrhea thing, I remember this
Oh
one
God, we're
time
right
is,
back to it.
Yes.
oh,
Yeah.
I have to because so my mom had moved in with somebody, and this person had a kid from a previous marriage, and he was right in between my oldest brother and I's age. So yeah, so it was, if I'm 13, Jeffrey's 10, Cody's 7, kind of like that sort of thing.
Sure.
And so Jeffrey and I go, he's showing me to the clearing and stuff, and rest in peace, Jeffrey. He passed away like a couple of years ago. But we go, and I'm like, I have to poo. I'm like, I have to shit something fierce. And he's like, okay, all right. So we go take, we brotherly bonding, taking this poo, and he's like, I got the good shit. And I did not think anything of this. It happened to be poison sumac, and I had that from knee to chest for like 2 weeks
Oh my
of the
gosh.
worst. Oh, it was dreadful. It might have
That's
been
awful.
poison oak. No, it might have been sumac. It was. I think it was poison oak. Now that I think
So
about
that
it.
was on your ball sack too.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my
it was
Lord.
fucking
Man.
awful. I'm taking bleach baths. I'm taking oatmeal baths. I'm taking
Oh,
baths
yeah.
of all sorts, and like it was. I'm just on fire perpetually for like 2.5 weeks of getting calamine lathering it all over
Oh
my
yeah.
body.
Oh yeah.
I was so fucking pissed at him
That
because
yeah.
he had like a
Fantastic.
little bit, and that was it. And I was like, "You."
Yeah,
So
he did
That's
have the good poop.
hilarious.
He did
yeah,
have the
he
good
had
poop.
he had to go
He
poop.
had the good one.
All right.
So
I guess I better throw mine in just to make it even.
Yes.
yes,
So I was a weird kid, as people
No.
are learning.
No.
I had a thing at school. I would not use the restroom at school. Occasionally, I would go pee. I would never. I don't think I've ever taken a shit in those schools ever. And I remember one day I had to go real bad, and I was like, I can hold it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I get on the bus, and I'm riding the bus home, and it's like kind of what you're talking about, Drew. Like, oh my god, this is happening now. So I managed to make it all the way back to my grandma's house. And I get off the bus and I'm just full sprint to the house up the driveway. I'm just hauling ass. And I slam through the back door and run directly to the bathroom. She's like, "Hey, great. Hey, like what's going on?" I go into the bathroom, close the door, walk over to the toilet, and literally got my pants just below my butt cheeks, and it went. And I was like, I'm so close. So close. I just stood there like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, this is terrible. So
You didn't make your
close.
Nana clean it up, did you?
Well, no, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
So,
Well, come
on. I'm better than that. I'm bad, but I don't make other people clean my poo, okay?
he
So
said he was
that's
just
my
weird.
business.
That's
Yeah, I'm not a degenerate, okay? So that's
Well,
my
this
story.
this episode got real shitty real fast.
Yeah, didn't
but,
it? Yeah, more so than usual. All right, guys. Anything else? We're about
No.
the 54 mark. So
No
He's
more
all
shit.
pooed out.
no more shit stories. All right, we'll save those for a later episode. All right, well, I guess we'll move on to the top 3 throwdown, which is mine this week. And my top 3 throwdown is: what is your top 3 bucket list items? What are the things you would love to do before you die? I'll start. My first one is I really want to visit Japan. I've always had an interest in the culture. I used to watch anime when I was a kid. I watch it still now. There's just something about kind of the respect and kind of the silence, I guess, the expectation of kind of being quiet and withdrawn and not making a scene. That I really like. The food. I love the food. I love some of the art that comes out of there. It's a really cool place. My cousin, she goes all the time. She loves Japan as well. She usually goes once or twice a year at this point now. She lived there for a while teaching. My other cousin, for people that don't know, my cousins, these are the ones I grew up next door to with my grandma. They're essentially my sisters. I'm very, very close with them. And my younger cousin, she lives there still now. And recently she got married to a Japanese man a couple months ago. So I really want to go take the girls, take my daughters and my wife and go over and visit her. Kind of see how she's doing over there. She visits here occasionally, but like kind of check out what it's like for her over there and hit some of the tourist sites. So Japan is probably my number one to get over there someday. All right, Taylor.
Okay. So yeah, I will go with a little bit of a different route. Something I would like to do, and I've started to look a little bit into it. Unfortunately, I have to you have to take a medical for this, but I have to get a special medical, would be to fly a plane,
Oh, there you go.
Ooh,
Yeah,
to go through the FAA. Um, it's something I've wanted to do for a very long time, but looking into it because of my ear, I would have to get special clearance
oh
for
yeah.
my hearing, which unless I Sky King it, and I don't know if you know that reference, but the one dude a few years back
Oh,
who
I
stole
do
that
remember
plane.
that. Yes, I do know what you're
Yeah,
talking
unless I do
about.
something like that.
join me, Taylor. Join me
Eh,
in your
Yeah,
law-breaking deeds.
yeah.
oh,
YOLO,
well,
Now,
buddy.
yeah,
I,
pretty
I
much, yeah, you're done. You're
I got
done.
Yeah.
a guy our age right now who's doing that himself.
Okay.
He's in the midst of flight training.
All
Oh yeah.
right. Nice.
Uh,
Yeah.
one of mine that almost made the list is kind of adjacent to it, but not really that. Is one of my
Mm,
bucket list items is I want to ride in a helicopter. I don't want to fly it, but I want to ride in a helicopter. And a lot of that stems from my grandfather in Vietnam was a crew chief on like Huey helicopters and stuff.
mm.
And he had a huge love for aviation and planes. So I'd love to ride in a helicopter to experience that. And I always, in my list, I put bonus points if it's a Huey or a Black Hawk. So I think that would be awesome to ride in a Black Hawk helicopter. So,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
all
Nice.
right.
That was
My
very
number
nice.
two, my family, parts of my family hate to hear this. Um, I want to get my motorcycle license and I want to get a motorcycle. And I've wanted to for a very long time. My mom rode a lot. My dad was a big motorcycle guy. I used to ride on his when I was a kid. It was always a lot of fun.
What's wrong?
Drew, you used to have motorcycle, didn't you? Oh, he's dealing with kids.
I loved my bike. It was some of the most amazing years of my life doing poker runs with some friends. Cool friends that had motorcycles.
Yes.
Um,
Not me.
yeah, certainly not. No, those were the friends I wouldn't bring together.
Yes.
Right, right, yeah. It's like you stay there, you stay there.
I had to
And
keep, you have to keep your cool card going.
that's right. And it's one of those things now that's actually evolved where before it was like, oh, I just want to get a motorcycle, a two-wheel motorcycle, the normal thing. As I've gotten older, and it's one of those things now it's transitioned to it's something I want to get so Brittany and I can travel together places.
Okay.
And as I've gotten older, I've been looking more at like getting one of those trike style ones just because they're supposed to be safer.
The two wheels in front or the two wheels in back.
Honestly, I don't have a preference. I prefer the two wheels in the back though.
I
Oh,
think the
thank
wheels in
God.
the
I
back, because I
mean,
think the front
it's a
are.
slingshot. It's a slingshot
Yes.
when they're in the front. And I would unfriend you. I would just cut the feed and I would be
Why?
gone.
Why? What does it matter? If I'm an
Because I
old
rode I
man retired, what does
you
it
get a
matter?
trike. You get a trike like a
Well,
normal old trike as an old man would do.
Well, that's
The
what I'm
yeah, because
saying.
slingshot,
Oh,
I
you're
thought
saying if I got
the
a
slingshot was a
slingshot.
little
I just
unbalanced or something
I
with
thought
it.
you
I
meant
just
for the
Uh,
trike you would cut me off. No, I'm much
no.
more interested in a trike than I
No,
don't really want a
the
slingshot.
normal looking trike is
Yeah, with the three wheels in the
respectable
back. Yeah.
because I knew some guys that were just they weren't strong enough to hold the bike
Yeah.
up anymore, and that's how they could keep riding because it is a great feeling. It really is.
Oh yeah.
mm.
So okay, I was like, don't cut me off for getting
Well,
old and want to be
if you
safe.
got a slingshot, I'd be like, nah, it's over.
I,
We had a good
I,
run.
20 something years of friendship gone.
gone.
So
My buddy Louie wants one, so it's really hard for me right now.
it's
Pretty
testing you.
emotional
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
All right.
Well, Graham, if it makes you feel any better, that would be the only way I'd be able to ride a motorcycle. I
Yeah.
feel like I don't think I have the
I
appropriate
mean,
balance.
at some point, it's like it's not worth taking the risk, especially as you get older. And it's like it's something I want to use. The reason I want it now is so Brittany and I can go on day trips and go see new things when the kids are gone and maybe we're retired or whatever. And it's like
Yeah.
if I'm going to do it, I might as well do it as I don't know how much safer they are, but I've heard they are safer. Um, I mean, you still have a chance of getting hit as much, but you're less likely to put the bike down. So,
Yeah.
but
Still got to be safe, man, because
for sure.
people just don't pay attention to you.
Oh, and that's why part of my family is not happy to hear that. They're like, you cannot get a bike. I'm like, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
To make that worse, there is the to kind of translate out the imagery of it. in like China and Japan and stuff, the cars are like rocks and the motorcycle and the motorbikes are like water.
Yeah.
Now imagine that imagery.
Just crash right through them. Well, and it's the side of my family that is filled with firefighters and paramedics. Those are the ones that are like, no, you don't need to do that. They're very not about motorcycles, which is understandable. So,
Sure.
but all right, Drew.
All right, my number 2, and Graham, you're one of the friends that's been with me in the journey for most of the time. I need to get a hole-in-one in golf.
Yeah, I still cannot believe as long as you've been playing, you've never had a hole-in-one.
I've lipped out multiple times. I had a shot that rolled forward, skipped, hit the cup, shot off to the left, zipped back, and lipped out on the cup twice in one shot. I have flown in the hole, and it
popped out,
bounced out of the hole. I have hit the pin, and it ricocheted into the water. I've done it all, except for the ball staying in the damn hole.
I'm pretty sure at this point, if I get a hole-in-one somehow through my terrible golf skills before Drew, he will kill me. I will be dead in a
friendship ended
in a water hazard somewhere.
It's worse than if you get a slingshot.
Yes, exactly. He'll just defriend me if I get a slingshot. He will kill me if I get a hole-in-one before him.
I mean, I've played golf every day for what, 6 years?
Yep.
That's
why it blows my mind.
I had a 6-year stretch where I was pretty much a scratch golfer. You know, I'd shoot 1 under, 1 over. It was a pretty normal day, and you'd just think all those rounds I'd do it, but I haven't.
You'd think. I think it kind of shows how much luck is involved.
Yeah.
In that shot, you know, it's how much it's just luck. So,
you know what that means, right, Graham?
What?
We need to go golfing, and then record us hitting a hole-in-one on him.
Well, what we'll do is we'll fake it, and then I'll attest for you.
I'd be happy for you.
Oh yes,
10 minutes.
A little bit.
Maybe 10 minutes.
Hear him screaming from 13 states away.
What is that noise? No, it wouldn't be him screaming. It would be like that Simpsons episode where he's like, "Fuck." Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh goodness. All right, my number 2 is I had plans to do this years ago and then fell through in doing it. I think I might have just chickened out, but also it was really hard to try to squeeze it in. I want to hike the full Appalachian Scenic Trail.
You, me, and Megan.
You guys enjoy that. You do that. I'll
3-month adventure.
I don't know if I will not make the whole thing. I promise you that. But Megan and I would like to do at least a large portion, as much as we can.
Yeah.
And again, that's after the kids are gone. So when I die out there, I won't feel that bad.
Brittany's brother attempted it. I think right around high school or right when he was getting out of high school.
Yeah.
And I think he called him like 2 days later and he was like, "Yeah, you need to come get me."
Well, 2 days. I mean,
well, he also was like, he was still pretty young too. And I don't think he quite understood the undertaking to do it. So,
all right.
It's because it is a huge undertaking.
Georgia to Maine, baby.
So, exactly.
Yeah, from
Shire to Mordor.
I love it. We'll stay in touch. Don't you dare worry. We'll stay in touch. We could start off with some baby trips. Go do like a week-long hike. We could start off with that just to ease it in. Absolutely.
You just guys send me updates, and I'll follow along from home.
I'll send you some dick pics.
Right, yeah.
Whatever. New locations every day.
Drew, he said whatever.
It is what it is. So.
He's going to get some early morning rising going there. Set his way.
This way is north.
Sorry, buddy. You're over 40 and we're almost 40. I might get one every week.
It means you have low T, my friend. It means you have low T.
What is that, zinc or something?
I didn't say me. I said I might get one from you. Maybe every week or so.
You know what?
Don't be.
Let the games begin.
Oh God!
You invited that one.
Oh God! What happened? It's got away from me really fast.
Pitching a tent for you just right here, Graham.
Is that how you wave normally?
No, just to my children. I normally don't wave at all. That's why I'm so bad at it. So everybody's like,
Just so
bye. And I'm
unpracticed.
like, bye.
Okay.
No, I do that to my kids. They're my kids. Bye. So
I
all
do
right.
this. Mine's a different motion.
Go away. Go on now, get.
All right. My number 3 is to visit. I kind of combine 2 into 1 just because they're kind of in the same region, but not if you look at a map. Visit like the UK, specifically Scotland and Ireland, and also kind of like Norway, Iceland, kind of that northern Scandinavia
Yeah.
part of the world. I want to go to Norway just because it's everything I've seen. It's gorgeous.
I'll go to
Just
Norway with
absolutely
you.
beautiful. Perfect. So I
What
want to
my
go
what,
some.
yep.
Go ahead.
One of my favorite YouTubers there, Andy Axe. They do a production company called Vooz out of there. I love their work. They're fantastic. They
Yeah,
seem like a good group to have a beer with.
yeah, it's everything I've seen. I want to go see some fjords, experience
yeah.
some culture up there, and then the UK. It's I'm almost like 90 something percent English, Scottish, and Irish, and I think a little Welsh as well. So I want to go check it out. Like I want to have a Guinness in a really old Irish pub. I would love to play around a golf in Scotland. Doesn't matter what
Beautiful.
course. It doesn't even have to be the old course. It could be any course.
That might be where you die.
That's fine.
I've golfed. I've golfed with you.
Yeah, that's fun. You die doing what you love.
Absolutely.
So, and that's probably my third. Is there's a lot of places I want to travel. Japan and those 2 are probably the top of my list, though.
Sounds
sure.
nice. Good places.
So
Nice. All
right,
right.
well,
So my
you go for it.
wait.
Yes.
Did
you
I?
do.
Did I?
Nope,
I
nope,
just
nope,
skipped
go
over you.
ahead.
No,
You're
yeah. No,
good.
I skipped over you.
Nope,
I'm sorry.
nope.
Taylor
I want
jumped
you
the
to
line.
go.
I jumped the
you to
line.
go
I
because
jumped the line.
mine's-
No, no,
mine's-
you go.
nope, mine's going to derail the whole
Oh,
thing.
figure it out,
Yours
guys.
is probably beautiful.
Well, no,
Taylor,
I was the
got
jerk.
it.
I jumped ahead.
Got it.
That's
Got
not.
it. Give me number 3.
Come on, Taylor. Just do it. Let's
I
move
feel
this
bad.
along.
I feel bad.
No.
You stay out of this. Like
You finish the podcast.
well, sorry, Drew. I completely I was having a moment.
B,
and
Graham,
then,
screw you.
and yeah, Graham, go to hell. Mine
there.
is mine is I want to sail around the world.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
That is kind of like a hidden part of me that I don't really get to do much of. Partly we are landlocked.
Yes.
Partly well, being in Japan,
Sure.
I was like 5 kilometers from the Pacific.
Yep.
On either side. Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit further for the Sea of Japan, but to sail, like just to, I don't need like some super yacht or anything. Those are nice. I'm not saying if somebody don't want to give me one, I'd be opposed to it. But just to go out and sail and stuff like that is something I enjoy. Like I don't get seasick, oddly enough. I thought I would, just because of my balance being wonky, but evidently my balance is wonky enough that it's like, oh yeah, this is normal. Like this is fine. What are you? Stop being a baby. This is just as regular. And just kind of just big blue. Just enjoying the big blue.
That's
Nice.
One of my bucket list items is to learn how to sail. Not so much sail around the world, but learn how to sail. And part of it, like you said, comes from living in Ohio, landlocked. I love water. I love bodies of water. I love the ocean. I love ships in general. I like reading about ships, watching movies about ships. In fact, I always said that if I wasn't married and didn't have a heart condition, I strongly would have considered joining like the Merchant Marines or something like that and work on a cargo ship sailing the world. Just because I love that whole nautical stuff. So yeah, well, you and I will learn together, and then you can do the around the world thing and send me pictures, not of your dick. Yeah. So
It's a tall
It's
tale, I
only a
hear.
special thing that Drew and I get to do to you when we're hiking. Is that it?
Yeah, well, it's already been set in stone. I can't reverse that one now. So unfortunately, it's out of my hands now. So
All right. Well, sorry for butting in line there, Drew.
No, look,
Over to you.
you guys had some wholesome, beautiful things that you could share with loved ones,
here comes
friends.
his dirty stuff again.
Mine is, again, law-abiding citizen my whole life, barely speed, right? So I would like to, when I turn, this is an 80-year plan, okay? When I turn 80, okay? I always thought it would be cool to drive a car and smash through a locked gate of some kind. Could be wood, could be metal. The goal is that the car survives crashing through the gate, which would then lead me into I'll be 80, okay? This would lead me into a high-speed chase that I would get to just ride out into the sunset
But
with the
Drew,
cops on my tail.
you're literally describing the retirement plan you and I discussed when we were younger.
Yeah.
In our high-speed chase to Mexico.
Yeah,
When we're
really,
ready to die. Yeah,
I
you
have-
can
I
factor
have
in
to-
the gate and
yeah.
everything.
Now, see, I have to go to Canada now because I'm too close to Mexico.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
My
That's
goal,
true.
I could probably get enough gas to get there. So I got to go the other way now.
So what we'll do is we'll get into separate high-speed chases and then meet each other in the middle and then shoot to Canada.
So, and then everybody asks me, what are you going to do when they catch you? I was like, well, I've thought about that because they will catch me. And I don't need to die necessarily, right?
Hey, no,
So-
I'm here to die in a fiery ball of death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But I don't need to die. It wouldn't be the goal. But so the plan is, and this goes back to an earlier topic, I plan on then shitting myself. And then, I'll be 80. It may not happen, but just be like, reach in there, grab something, be like, oh, I'm crazy. Oh,
You drink
and
enough
just-
prune juice, you'll be all right.
yeah. And then they'll just put me in an old folks home as I live out the remainder of my meager years.
See, that sounds awful. Just let's crash and die in a horrible
Maybe.
crash.
Who
sounds
is
much
that? Is that
better.
Thelma and Louise? Is that Thelma and Louise?
I'm not sure. I just know we've talked about that.
Yeah,
for-
we'll ride out into the
for
sunset
years.
together.
Yeah, off
Yeah.
a cliff. That might be Thelma and Louise off of a cliff.
It
I
could
can't
be.
remember. So
And beforehand though, we do need to sit on our porches and just yell at the kids.
Well,
just set up candy in the yard and shit and be like, get off my lawn.
well, the good news is, Drew, you can actually knock out 2 bucket list items with this because we
Go
are going
on.
to load ourselves with substances before we do this. We are going to do everything under the sun and then get in this car.
We'll just be sitting
Chase.
in the car.
It'll just be in place.
Yeah,
It just
we
Yeah.
were imagining that we're in a giant chase.
I don't know what's happening.
What's going on?
I don't know.
Haven't
Is it
seen
your
you
light?
over there.
Oh yeah, it's your light.
I think it's a
Gracious.
war. I think it's a
Strobing.
What?
Come on, get that going. Yeah. Boom.
He's getting the rave started early.
That's what happens when you buy cheap stuff from China.
Yeah.
All
right. But just that
It's
whole
off.
driving into stuff reminded me as a kid, that clearing by the clearing and stuff there. I think it's still there. It's called NCAA, the Northern Columbus Athletic Association. They had a bunch
Okay.
of like soccer fields and stuff, and I remember I would steal the golf cart and drive it around, and I went full bore, as fast as a golf cart will go, straight into the shed door of a big old shed and stuff. And oh yeah, well, they left the keys in it. It's like, okay,
That's
I'm
their
gonna borrow
fault.
this.
Yeah.
It's totally their fault. Oh, and it had a huge ass dent in it and stuff. Oh yeah, it was-
I'm kind of happy I didn't know you at that age because God knows where I would be in life.
Oh, I
right
was
now.
a horrible child. Like, yeah, before I moved up to Highland there, I was wild. Like,
Yeah, some of the stories I
Feral.
imagine.
yeah, feral would
Feral's a
probably
good
be
word, yes.
a very good word for it. I mean, I still kind of am, but
Well, guys, anything else? We're almost 120 here, so
Been a real shitty episode.
yeah. I promised a good episode at the beginning, and completely blew that one out of the water.
He blew it out his ass. That's what he did.
Jesus. This is definitely
all
good
done it.
tea.
We've
This is
all done
definitely
it.
getting the explicit tag. All right, then, guys. Appreciate you coming in. Thanks, everybody, for listening and watching and for tuning into this week's episode. If you enjoyed the show, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Spread it around. Also, you can catch us on any of the major podcast platforms, the Apple Music, Spotify's, wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. Follow us also on X and Instagram at LifeAround40Pod for episodes, release dates. I slacked this week and did not put one out for the previous episode. That's my bad. So we will get that remedied. But, well, guys,
USOB.
I know. It was a busy week, so sorry. But,
Shame.
well, all right, guys, it's a good conversation. So it was nice talking to you tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Always a pleasure.
and I will actually talk to you guys in a day or two when we start our new game of Bison.
Oh boy.
So,
Yeah.
please be sure to check the character sheet and have an idea of
I
somebody
will
you would
not.
like to play. I knew you
He
would.
is
Trust me, I knew. when I put
berating
it
us
out there.
on a recording.
That's why my
How
wife.
dare you?
This is
That's why
this-
my
dare
wife-
you do this
I
while
have
on
evidence
recording?
Now, yeah, I have receipts. Okay,
How dare you?
so all right, guys. Again,
Ridiculous.
appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Have a good night.
Toodles.
Bye.